This is going to be pretty nice. Okay, we got webbed up right away. That's hilarious. So we've got a huge AoE on the axe. We're going to pop this. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex. And today I finally get to test what Venom is really like on my live server live test build. And I've got to say that despite how cool his skills look, I'm not super impressed with his damage at tier 2. Now that doesn't necessarily make him a bad character. This is still a monumental rework for him because he was strict. Oh, we procced there by accident. He was strictly a support type before this this rework, but it may leave some people wanting more simply because of how good the reworks have been lately for new characters. So we're trying to proc on 5 here. We're having a bit of trouble. So yeah, one thing that you're gonna notice that I noticed, his 5 and his 3 do good damage. 4 is for the healing and for the all defense down. But what you'll notice is targeting. Targeting is definitely going to be an issue for Venom. So there is going to be a learning curve more so than other characters. I really wish that Venom would have had an animation on his 5th skill where he pulled himself. So see, he jumps at Proxima with the 4th skill, but he stays in one place with the 5th skill. And so if Proxima decides, oh, we gotta switch here. If Proxima decides to jump back, the ball, that big symbiote ball that he summons doesn't actually go and follow her. And so because of that, you can end up missing a lot. But when you do hit, the damage is quite good, as you can see there. That's with the buff from Nick. He's got a pretty smooth rotation, although it's a very tight rotation. You absolutely need to do the skills in the order that I'm doing them in if you want to get this kind of damage output. And you have to have max skill cooldown, because otherwise you end up proc. You saw me proc on 4 by accident and things like that. There she jumped back, but she jumped into the wall, so I got kind of lucky. So he's doing pretty well right now. 2-minute clear is not bad. However, it isn't what we've come to expect from some of these reworked characters at the same time. So I don't mean to sort of rain on Venom's parade, but I do need to put it into context. You can get hit really bad going into 4. You can get one-shotted basically because he has nothing on 4. He's got an iframe, but he has to jump into the iframe. The nice thing, the really nice thing, like there's a couple of cute synergies here with his skills. So he drops the healing on 4, right? And then on 3, you can actually just roll around the boss and collect the heals. So that is a really nice touch. Like for example, so here he's gonna drop the orbs. Okay, I actually canceled before he dropped them. But you sort of get what I'm saying. Let me try to do this again here. Drop the orbs and then roll around. Well, I collected 1. So you can sort of see. So he's doing pretty well. This would have been without the frenzy. She just got a 30-second frenzy buff, so it's basically going to extend this fight. This is probably going to end up being like a 4-minute clear. It's pretty good. It's with 2 supports, however. It's with Nick Fury and Coulson support. Coulson's got a CTP of Insight. I've got my regular cards non-crafted, although they're still very OP for the majority of the player base. And then for Venom, he is rocking, let me switch over here so it doesn't add any additional stats. Venom is rocking 25,000, I believe, 24,000 physical attack. Kind of low, I will say that, but he is level 60. He does have all of his gears 20. He's got all his 4-star physical attack Uru. The Asgardian axe is rolled to crit rate. I can actually change that. I shouldn't have had that to crit rate. He doesn't need the crit rate. Oh, you know what? He's at 51%. I think he does need the crit rate. Yeah, he does. Okay, so 50% is the soft cap for Venom because you get that 25% there for 10 seconds. So he actually has a nice consistent buff that you can have up for the whole fight. It allows you to cap his stats more easily. And then he's got the chain hit damage, stuff like that, yada yada yada. But then he's got also the ignore dodge there, so he'll be better against ignore dodge targets. He'll be quite good against Quicksilver World Boss because of the 45% ignore dodge and the fact that he's combat. But yeah, stage 8 overdrive, I did switch it, or actually I didn't switch it, I kept it the same. Some people were saying you might need to switch because his old uniforms give him 35% all speed, but I think he's fine with, what is it, 114% attack speed, because the 114 actually goes up to 120 or 119. So he's at sort of 119 for the majority of the fight. And then I've got a crit damage 200 proc, so pretty nice obelisk, pretty nice. And then we've got a heroic uniform with all of the options mythic, for dodge, physical attack, and ignore defense. I actually gave him dodge on his Uru because he doesn't need the crit rate, and because I think he does need the dodge for his survivability. Survivability is a little bit questionable, low defenses, low HP, and like I said, when you do symbiote web, he jumps at the enemy, and if they're just doing like an AoE attack or Proximus throwing the spears, boom, you just get clapped, you get one-shotted. So definitely not a perfect character, definitely has some flaws, and I would say compared to some of the more recent combat reworks that we've gotten, he may not seem as amazing. Where's the other guy? Oh, he's on the other side. He may not seem as amazing at tier 2 as you may expect. However, he does have the ability to go to tier 3, so you have to take that into consideration. But he may be closer. It may be a closer comparison to look at Venom and look at Ghost Rider tier 2. Ghost Rider tier 2 has more damage, but they both have sort of, I don't know, wonky survivability. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, definitely the tier 3 stat bump is going to help him. Now, his tier 3 stat bump is not that great defensively. Offensively, he gets a pretty nice chunk of physical attack. Almost 13,000 physical attack is quite high. However, the HP is quite low, so he's still going to have defensive issues. 33,000 HP, to put that into context, if you go over to the Marvel Universe tab, is lower than the base HP for Mr. Fantastic. And Mr. Fantastic is pretty low HP. Mr. Fantastic himself can get one-shotted. So if you have less HP than Mr. Fantastic, yeah, you're looking at potential to get one-shotted pretty easily. But again, it's still a really good rework, and I'll show you guys an example of why this rework is so good. Now, his tier 2 passive is very, very amazing for that Shadowland stage, and I know that Shadowland stage is just a Shadowland stage. Okay, I'm not saying he's a Shadowland only character, but I just want to illustrate how crazy, I mean, despite the fact that it may not be, this rework may not be as OP as other reworks that we've gotten this year. We've gotten a ton of good reworks this year, so it's tough to compete with Odin's rework, Dormammu's rework, Moon Knight's rework, Hulk's rework, right? But take a look at how much damage I'm able to do here before I die. Now, he's got more healing on this anti-venom uniform, but healing doesn't really matter in Marvel Future Fight if you can't do any damage, right? Damage is king. So there he died super fast. I got some damage off, but the thing is, if you have to constantly run around and collect those heals, you're losing so much damage, right? Because every second that you're not doing a skill, every second that you're just running around kiting, that's time that you're losing to do damage. Now, I'm going to try to not kill them because I actually want to see what stage he can go to on the high end. But this is going to be pretty nice. Okay, we got webbed up right away. That's hilarious. So we've got a huge AoE on the axe. We're going to pop this. There. So let that skill play out. And we actually one-shotted 2 of the Spider-Verse characters. We actually just killed Miles Morales. And then the last one, the Dr. Octopus Superior Spider, is about to die. So night and day, right? It's still very much a night and day uniform. Wow, that artwork is actually really cool for Scream. Some bright spots in this game, I tell you. So yeah, it's definitely a night and day uniform for Venom, and if you want to play with Venom, it's pretty much a must-buy if you want to play with him. Now, if you just want to use him as a striker, here's the thing. If you just want to use him as a striker, I think you can just keep this uniform, because the healing, I'm pretty sure, is exactly the same, right? The healing here, it's 5% per blob, and I believe he drops 7 blobs. Here, it's 7% per blob. Okay, so you actually get more healing. You get 2% more, and I think you get the same number of blobs, or maybe more blobs. So, blobs. Bobs, blobs. So, you may drink every time I say blob. You may actually benefit more from you. I mean, you would actually benefit more from this one, because I'm pretty sure it's at least the same number of little symbiotes that he drops, and it's a better heal. And then, of course, this heal is marginally better. It's a 20% max HP heal if he's on your team, not as a striker, versus a 15% heal, but it's only every 20 seconds, so it's not really that good. So yeah, I think even if you're going to use him as a support type unit, this uniform is a decent pickup. However, given the fact that we're in a boycott, given the fact that a lot of players are not spending any more money, which means that they don't have any more crystals coming in, and we find out very quickly when you don't have a Stark Stash running, which I don't right now, you find out very, very quickly how few crystals you get per week in Marvel Future Fight. It is staggering how slowly your crystal count will climb when you're just counting on the in-game farming methods, because they're just so greedy, right? Because they just haven't updated and given us more crystals in years, despite the fact that they pump out Danger Room characters, despite the fact that they pump out, crystal cost characters. They moved Odin and Dormammu. They give all these uniforms to characters that require crystals, and other crystal purchases, unequipped costs, etc. Crafting costs or rerolling costs now. So, yeah, I would definitely say if you're not blown away by this uniform and my sort of first preview of it, first impressions, and if Venom is not one of your favorite characters, that you could probably wait a month to pick this up on Black Friday for a 50% discount rather than a 40% discount, because I don't see this being mind-blowing. I don't see Venom being meta for anything, to be honest with you. Minus 50 all defense down is nice, but it's just not enough. I tried him with, just in case you guys are wondering, I did try him with Dr. Voodoo instead. So I did the same exact stage, but I did this instead. I kept Coulson for the guaranteed crit rate and the insight, and he was slower. So the good thing about Venom, at least, another good thing is you don't want to use a debuff leadership. Minus 70 is nice for all defense, but I don't think it's enough. And I think unlike other characters, especially at tier 2, Venom needs the stats from an actual leadership, from 50% all attack from Nick, or 55 or whatever, or 60% from Crescent or somebody else like that. I think he needs those buffs to help him deal enough damage. Now at tier 2, he does get accumulation and penetration and stuff like that. That's obviously going to increase his value. I haven't checked out any tier 3 Venom videos yet. There's not that many tier 3 Venoms kicking around because of potential, but he may be a character kind of like Ghost Rider that needs his tier 3 to shine, or a character like Doctor Strange that needs his tier 3 to shine at maximum level. So yeah, that's my take on Venom. Definitely a huge rework for him, and a good day to be a symbiote fan, but they definitely could have gone further with his rework given the quality of reworks we've gotten lately in the game, a la Moon Knight, Hulk, Black Bolt, Medusa, Storm, Odin, Silver Surfer, etc, etc, etc. So let me know. I'd probably give this uniform like a 7 out of 10, 7.5. Aesthetically, the look, it's like a 10 out of 10 for sure. Gameplay wise, with the skill canceling and the smoothness and the targeting, I'd probably give it like a 6. But then the overall impact, I'd probably give it about a 7 when you sort of average those things out and take off a couple points, because he needs the tier 3 to really shine, in my opinion. Anywho, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Let me know if you have any other build ideas for Venom, if you think he has any possibility for PvP. I don't, just because he has no reflect, auto heal, penetration without tier 3, or stuff like that. But yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.